Will not tolerate, U.S. says after 2 men allegedly running covert Chinese police station in New York. Leaked document, China readies cutting-edge supersonic spy drone unit. China censors media over deadly fire at a Beijing hospital, 29 killed. Corrupt Chinese official pretends to be poor, tricks parents into collecting trash for 10 years. Expert, Taiwan-China issue, military conflict is avoidable.
A top Biden administration official on April 18th criticized Beijing after 2 men were arrested on suspicion of running a secret Chinese police station in New York and threatened to use all available tools to protect Americans against intimidation by other countries. The senior administration official told Newsweek, "The U.S. government has been clear that we will use all available tools to protect American citizens and other U.S. persons from transnational repression and other forms of foreign malign influence." Referring to the People's Republic of China, the official added, "We will not tolerate the PRC government, or any foreign government, harassing or threatening U.S. persons." The warning comes a day after federal prosecutors in Brooklyn unsealed criminal complaints against 2 individuals who were charged with supporting the Chinese government, establishing a covert police outpost in Manhattan to intimidate American dissidents and suppress criticism of Beijing. According to the Justice Department, the 2 men, namely Lu Dianwang and Chen Jinping, acted under the direction and control of a representative from the Chinese Ministry of Public Security. A Justice Department official told Newsweek that although the 2 individuals made their first court appearance on April 17th, they have not yet entered pleas in response to the allegations. The secret police outpost was the subject of an investigation by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office last year. According to court documents, this station reported to the Fuzhou office of China's Ministry of Public Security. Brian Peace, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, said in a statement on April 17th, "This prosecution reveals the Chinese government's flagrant violation of our nation's sovereignty." He added, "Such a police station has no place here in New York City, or any American community." Last year, the human rights organization Safeguard Defenders charged China with running more than 100 overseas police outposts in many foreign nations. According to the group, the stations secretly harass Chinese dissidents while pretending to offer diplomatic services to Chinese nationals living abroad.
According to a leaked document, China is preparing a supersonic spy drone unit that might offer the country an advantage in surveillance during a potential military conflict over Taiwan. Citing the assessment of a classified U.S. military, Washington Post reported on April 18th that the Chinese military might soon use a high-altitude spy drone that travels at least 3 times the speed of sound. This breakthrough would significantly improve China's capacity for conducting surveillance operations. The secret document from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, not previously reported, indicates that the Chinese military is developing technology that could let it target American warships near Taiwan and military installations in the area. The document features satellite imagery dated August 9th showing 2 WZ-8 rocket-propelled reconnaissance drones at an airbase in eastern China, about 350 miles from Shanghai. A state-of-the-art surveillance technology system of drones might assist China in gathering real-time mapping data to guide strategy or launch missile strikes in a future confrontation. According to the assessment, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, a division of the Chinese military tasked with upholding Beijing's claims of sovereignty over Taiwan, had almost certainly formed its first unmanned aerial vehicle unit at the airbase. The Washington Post discovered the evaluation of the WZ-8 program in a collection of photos of secret documents that were purportedly released on Discord, a popular group chat platform among gamers, by a Massachusetts Air National Guard member. This most recent revelation comes as Chinese military hostility towards Taiwan has risen, increasing fears of a Chinese invasion of the self-governing island democracy. According to CIA Director William J. Burns, Chinese leader Xi Jinping wants the PLA to be able to seize Taiwan by 2027, though he reckoned that this does not necessarily mean Xi will authorize an attack in that time. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is censoring social media posts about a fatal fire that killed 29 people at a hospital in Beijing. The public is outraged over the death toll and initial attempts to suppress information about the incident. According to Bloomberg, the deadly fire broke out at around 1 p.m. at the Beijing Changfeng Hospital on April 18th. State-controlled media, Xinhua News Agency, said firefighters put out the fire in about a half an hour. 71 patients were evacuated during the rescue. As of 6 p.m., 21 patients had died, and dozens more had injuries ranging from mild to critical. By Wednesday, the toll had risen to 29 dead. On Chinese social media, many dramatic videos and photos showed people climbing out of the windows using tied bed sheets to escape smoke and flames. However, the posts were quickly deleted from popular social platforms, Weibo and WeChat. Public outcry quickly mounted over how such a tragedy had happened and why reports about the incident were limited. One post condemned the hospital for boasting about its fire preparedness in a February post on the official WeChat account. Reuters cited a now-deleted comment from a WeChat user questioning the rescue effort from Beijing authorities. Rescue work at the scene concluded in 3.5 hours, but the public only knew that 21 had died from the fire after 8 p.m. Some of the critically injured were not expected to survive. The comment added, "It is very puzzling that little information was known about the fire killing 21 people in a densely populated major city like Beijing before the official notification." Pretending to be poor has long been a secret formula of Chinese Communist Party CCP officials. But recently, Li Qiawei, former director of Huaying City's Forestry Development Center, has become famous for his callous deceit. He, on the one hand, gained millions of yuan through corruption, and on the other hand, tricked his parents into collecting trash for over 10 years to make a living. On April 10th, the CCP Central Commission for Discipline and Inspection published an article revealing the corruption details of Li Qiawei. The article said during his tenure as a top leader, Li Qiawei not only repeatedly directed his subordinates to fraudulently take over $300,000, 2.08 million yuan, from the state monetary fund by falsely reporting projects' content, but also established and privately used a small treasury with an amount of over $328,000. In helping property owners declare annual projects, Li Qiawei used the pretext of needing data fees to deduct project subsidies. Li Qiawei also lied to his parents, telling them that his housing conditions were tight and he had financial difficulties. For this reason, his parents, at over 70, have had to rely on collecting trash to survive for over 10 years. Meanwhile, Li has used the embezzled money to buy 3 luxury houses and shops in many other places. The CCP's Central Commission for Discipline Inspection revealed that in 2017, when viewing corrupt officials' warning records, CCP officials considered it a precious book. Through it, they learn how to evade state supervision and exploit loopholes in the law. One of the habits that Chinese officials have learned is pretending to be poor, not flaunting wealth. Among them, the master of faking poverty and not showing off wealth is Wei Pengyuang, former deputy director of the Coal Bureau of the CCP's National Energy Administration. Wei often rode an old bike to work and wore cheap shirts and trousers, looking very rustic when going to meetings or visiting. But after Wei was fired, it was discovered that he had over $29 million in cash, weighing 1.5 tons, hidden in his house. In October last year, Wei Pengyuang was sentenced to death without parole or pardon.
Former American Institute in Taiwan, or AIT chairman Richard Bush, said that it is not escapable to avoid a war between China and Taiwan, and the results of Taiwan's presidential election in 2024 will play a role in affecting a cross-strait war. According to Taiwan News, this view of Bush was presented by Ryan Haas and Bonnie Glaser in their book, U.S.-Taiwan Relations: Will China's Challenge Lead to a Crisis? The two authors of the book also made their point. They believe that whether the war between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait breaks out or not depends on the wisdom of Taiwan's leaders. The authors also believe that China's regime will wage war to invade Taiwan when it sees the risk to them as low. However, Beijing would still prefer the option of capturing Taiwan by peaceful means. Since Moscow launched the war to invade Ukraine, international leaders, politicians, and experts have issued many warnings to the Chinese Communist regime to prevent them from carrying out offensive actions against Taiwan by force. During a speech at the European Parliament on April 18th, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen noted China's regime should not use force against Taiwan. She said, "We stand strongly against any unilateral change of the status quo, in particular by the use of force." Also, during the plenary session, EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell said that Taiwan is crucial for Europe, for three reasons: trade, the serious economic impact on the EU, and Taiwan is clearly part of our geostrategic perimeter to guarantee peace. On the same day, the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, said that he absolutely opposes any attempt to change the status quo around Taiwan by force. He added, "The Taiwan issue is not simply an issue between China and Taiwan, but, like the issue of North Korea, it is a global issue."